All praises due to the Most High, family. We back with another Acres anime review. I just finished watching episode 13 of Daemons of the Shadow Realm, and I didn't know the structure, the format of, how this season was going. I know last episode, when I was watching this episode and how it opened up, it was really clear that we're starting the second half of the season. It was kind of funny just because I recall watching the last episode and feeling, I wasn't sure this was exactly how it was laid out, but it was feeling like, okay, they started a nice clean break, and now we about to dive into the second half of the season. And on top of having a new opening and, giving us a slight recap, the feel, the energy, this feels different. Like, this feels like very much more intense than the first half of the season, right? Okay, we're gonna dive into it, but really quick, family, we're on the road to 200 YouTube subscribers. If you're watching this and are not subscribed on YouTube, family, go ahead and change that for us. Subscribe on the YouTube. If you're a new subscriber, comment that you just subscribed and I will shout you out, family. All right, appreciate y'all. Let's get into the episode. First of all, man, I know this opening, it was really good and it's gonna grow on me. But that first opening was straight flames. I was letting that rock every week. And we got a quick recap. Most of it was really like the most basic stuff. But so here we are, family. The shaman got to Higashi village, and this dude Ivan, with his sword Daemons, he busted out of his chest, literally, right? And so we saw how that happened because his Daemons are so weird. They affect space, which means they affect time. If we really play it out, but thus far we saw him manipulate space with his Daemons. Okay, so we was wondering, how did he bust out of his chest? We see exactly how that played out. Or it's more like it's kind of like Law's power from One Piece, right? I think it's Shambles is what he does when he switches objects in place, right? Anyhow, family. So he creates this box of space, right, with his Daemon. And I forget which one. It's Daikyo and Shokyo, but I forget which one is which. He pulls out the Daemon. It's a sword. It's a katana, and he draws this cube. And then he gets himself inside it, and then he sheaths the Daemon again, and that's when it's activated, right? So unsheathing, he can prepare, and then when he sheaths it back is when the objects actually swap places. So he creates a cube because so he's swapping with literally the shaman's chest. That's how he appears in the village. Fast forward, we're gonna talk about what happens in the village, but when he's leaving, he gets some hostages and he sends them the same way back that he came. So he literally the shaman is still alive. He's not bleeding, right? But he's freaking out. That's why he can't stand up and run, and his weight's all off. His equilibrium is thrown. So he's crawling away. Ivan is all throughout the village. He could take his sweet time. The shaman hadn't made it very far, right? So he took two hostages. He threw them into the shaman's chest cavity where Ivan came out originally. And then again, he sheaths his Daemon and they swap with the big old cube of meat that was shaman's chest sitting where Ivan came from, right? So that's some of how it works. It's kind of weird. Okay, now, let's talk about what actually happened in the Higashi village, though, because this is what I mean, family. It was intense. I thought the first attack on Higashi village was intense and violent. And this one, maybe it wasn't even more or less intense or violent, but it's how calm and how cavalier Ivan is, and just taking, at least when Asa attacked Higashi village, like it was like animus, it was like enemies, right? But Ivan, he's just a cold hitman. He doesn't care. This is just my job. I don't care about your questions. I don't care about any back and forth. I'm here to get what I need and get out. I don't care. I'm not gonna lose any sleep. I'm not gonna feel bad. Like, I don't care how it looks, right? Which makes Ivan scary. Like, he's a professional. Okay, but he's slashing up Higashi villagers left and right. He senses a daemon, or daemons, right? We learn, and I kind of had a hunch or a feeling, but we learned that the Asa that was staying at the village is a daemon, and the granny is the master. We saw this. Ivan finally pulls up on the granny, right? Well, just before, she's holed up with some of her best hitters, right? So when he opened the door, it's crossbow ammunitions, right, straight at him. He caught it, but it's the top hitters and granny. Okay, now he handles the crossbow guys. He corners granny. That's when Asa, the daemon Asa, gets to defending her, right? So we know that that's her master. But we know daemons come in pairs. We never saw the other half of this Asa daemon. So is she 2-in-1 maybe? Right? Because I think, ooh, family, I'm not gonna have enough time. I'm just gonna leave it at this. I think Asa may be a 2-in-1. We saw Higashi, the lady on top of the horse. I think that is that's a 2-in-1. I mean, we're used to being daemons being identical opposites, but that's a horse and a human. They're not exactly opposites, right? I think it's a 2-in-1. I think Asa may be the same thing. Long story short, family, Asa and then the girl that the shaman came to give a vaccine to, those are Ivan's two hostages, and he transports them back to Asama's uncle, right, that we saw last episode for the Kagamoris. Okay, after he used the shaman to leave Higashi village, the shaman's no longer alive, and Ivan left a message on the shaman's chest, right? He's telling Yuru, I have hostages, pull up here at this time if you care about them. Now, Hannah was alerted about this. She told Dara that the shaman passed, but she didn't tell, Dara doesn't know about the message. These people who asked Hannah to bury the shaman, they asked that they not share the message to Yuru or Dara, right? Now what else happened though? Now family, okay, that's mainly the gist of the story. Now, what's his name? It's Yuru's friend from the village, Danji. Danji left the village per request from his mom, and he is with the horse and lady Daemon, and she took them to the capital. They're looking for Yuru and left and right. Okay, I'm excited for that for sure. Now, I can't help but notice the two juxtapositions. That's why I think Asa is a 2-in-1, because right after Asa, we're looking at this horse lady Daemon combo, right? Now, another juxtaposition that caught my eye is Danji's mom and the granny, bro. The granny, you're too soft. I can't respect you as a leader if that's how you didn't even go out with your homeboys. You didn't even try to fight back with your Daemon. And I don't know what's going on with Granny. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And Ivan called her on it. And he's like, man, like what's going on here? Like, this is gross, right? And for Ivan to be disgusted with your character, that says a lot. I too shared Ivan's disgust for the Granny's, just everything, right? Juxtapose that with Danji's mom. She's saying, nah, Danji, go save yourself. I'm gonna stay here, because what happens if Yuru comes back? He needs someone that, to be here if he does in fact come back. She stood on business. The granny did not. So I just couldn't help but notice that, family. But I tried to get in everything. I know I missed a couple things, but all praises due to the Most High, family. This second half is gonna be way better than the first, I think. Peace and love.